Okay.
go. Hello, everybody. How's everyone going? It's the EcoPoint podcast with a little special take today. This is going to be the Overwatch World Cup series, featuring a number of different nations representing each other. I've already done a few already, and so this in the works is one of the first, the biggest representatives from one nation. It's Team Costa Rica. How is everybody?
Good.
Doing great.
Doing
Yay.
great.
Hello.
Hey, hello there.
Pura vida, we said.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
You guys are vibing, absolutely. So how this has started, I had a little chat with just all of the different countries, and most of them have just left me on red. Simple as that. So this wasn't going to happen at one point, but little did I know, the owner behind Team Costa Rica, Dab Punk here, which is probably the sickest name I've seen in all of Discord of all time. It's decided, yeah, let's make something happen. Just have a chat with our team, and we can make a little bit of magic happen to talk a bit about the Overwatch World Cup and what everyone's been going through to get to here. So, Dab, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. So tell me a bit more about who we've got here, Dab. I see we've got Benji, Banishlight, Baru, Winter, and Cuba.
Benji is our support player. Banishlight is the coach helping us. It's not the head coach by Blizzard, but it's our coach helping Mistral, which is the official coach to Blizzard. But he is basically helping us to shape the team, take all the tough decisions, and it's a big help that we received. Baru is our flex player, the captain, and Winter is our DPS.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's a brief summary of the people that we have here.
No, that's cool. So I'm sure we'll get to know each other across the whole episode, but seeing as we've got a whole variety, which I think is the first time I've seen here, from socials, from coaching, from all the players themselves, a good representation here, which is really, really nice. I'd just like to get to know some of the players here. How did you guys get into Overwatch?
Yeah, I go first. That said, my name is Benji. I'm currently the main support player for Team Costa Rica. And my history with Overwatch started like in a very fun way. When the game was announced, honestly, got a lot of hype for the game. But around that time, I have like not any type of economic way to get into the game. I never had like a console. I have like a very cheap PC. So there was like no way for me to play the game. So I just hop in on one of my best friend's house, and we just played Overwatch like for the whole day. Hit our PlayStation. So I play like on console. I semi-play because I had no console in my house. It was just like the times that I go to my friend's house. And it was like around that for some years till 2021 that I had like a huge opportunity to finally get a good PC. I never do like PC gaming or stuff, but I had like a lot of passion for the game because I always like want to have the game in my hands. So up until now, I get to know the game, and I love it, man. What can I say?
Oh, that's awesome. Coming from console and then working your way towards saving up towards a PC, and I'm sure there was a lot of games in the process on top of Overwatch. It's really cool to have that drive to keep playing, even if it was just a couple of mates and just chilling out. Was it always competitive when you were playing on console up to PC?
Can you repeat?
Yeah. Was it very competitive as you were playing with your friends, as a team, and then were you doing competitive matches?
So I don't know, like the vibe was very different. And to be fair, it was like the very beginning of Overwatch. Back in then, I play like Hanzo on console, which it's kind of rough. I'm gonna lie. I would say that people back then was like very communicative. Like there was a lot of communication. People talk a lot and happen like on BC. So that was like a special charm for Overwatch. Because other than that, the other game that I played a lot was Call of Duty, and the only communication that you receive in that game is probably not like really healthy. I would say.
Iconic.
Yeah, we know those lobbies. But yeah, not the try hard thing, and back then you don't know like a lot about the game. Like we play very casual. So it was totally different vibe from today. I would say like but definitely the game just has progress, and it's on a point right now that it's way harder and more try hardy.
Fair enough. Who's next? Winter, did you want to go? Tell us about where you're from, your experience with Overwatch when you first started.
Sure, yeah. Or sorry,
He said me.
okay, sorry, go ahead.
So I'm originally from the US. My parents are both Costa Rican, so when I was very young, I got dual citizenship, and so that's how I was able to play for this team. But I started Overwatch. When was that? It was like in the first year. It was about like season 4 or season 3 of the game. I had seen my cousin play it on PC a lot, and I thought it was really cool. I really wanted to get into it. But specifically on PC, I started on console like Benji. Did that for a while because I don't know. I didn't feel like I could ask my parents to just like drop a couple grand on a PC.
Oh yeah, just a small little investment of $1,000 just onto a whole new system just to play a video game.
Exactly, and so I was like, you know what? I'll wait on that. Wait until like I'm in college or something. Wait until I was in college. I was like, hey, I'm in computer science. I kind of need like a sick ass PC to do computer science stuff. Complete lie. I just wanted something that would run Overwatch well.
Yeah, that's true. Very valid excuse though. You could invest into your studies and then realize it's just so you can play high res video games. That's the dream sometimes.
And so they went for it. They knew it was crap, but they went for it. I got on PC, started playing with my cousin a lot and his friends. Was really, really fun. As Benji said, there was a lot of communication, very competitive at the start. I really liked that aspect. And then as the years went on, like the people just kind of lost interest in the game. But I still kept grinding it. I was like super passionate about it. I had always, like, once I saw the Overwatch League, I was like, dude, I want to be there. And so kept going with it. Very, very slow grind. But eventually I did make it to top 500 at some point within Overwatch 1. I was like, you know what? There's something can be done here. Still kept going to it with to this day, and I saw the opportunity to join the World Cup team for my country. I'm super prideful in my country, and so I was like, I would want to represent them in the best way possible. So I want to join the team, and that's how I got to this point.
All right, that's really impressive. Very good that you're so loyal to Costa Rica. Who's next? Baru? Banish? Of the players?
Go ahead, Vanish.
You want me to
Players,
go?
Baru.
Yeah.
If you want, Ben.
Go ahead.
All right. So, I am the reason why I am not officially the head coach is because I'm not Costa Rican. I'm actually Canadian. To get that out of the way, I actually met the team and got connected with the team through Winter. I met Winter back in October 2021, and we were just playing on ladder together, and we started playing together, and I've known him ever since. And we were good friends playing on ladder and talking and stuff. And I had gotten a job coaching kids esports back then. I knew I'd been coaching around, and this opportunity came up, and I hopped in to coach the team one night, and they all liked me, and I agreed to coach them further. and I've been coaching them ever since. So it just kind of clicked since day one. It just kind of worked out.
Wow, that's cool.
Personally, I found the team to be full of lots of highly competitive players. There's this kind of phenomenon in Overwatch where like lots of collegiate teams, World Cup teams will have like maybe 4 to 5 or 3 to 5 players that are really, really good, and they'll have maybe 1 or 2 weak links. And I remember when I would scrim teams, like lots of collegiate teams would just have this weak link, and it would never, sure, their average would be okay, but this weak link would really pull them down, and it wouldn't make things as competitive as it could be. But with this team, everyone is at a very competitive level. I saw a lot of potential with the team, and I wanted to coach them further.
Oh, that's awesome. You're just bringing in that pure, American spirit into yet another South American team is very impressive. And I respect that. Yeah, big contribution to the team for sure. Baru, how's it going, mate?
Great.
Want to tell us a bit about yourself? Whereabouts are you from? Are you in Costa Rica?
Yeah, I'm Costa Rican. Well, I was born here.
Yeah, any particular city?
I'm actually a professional cook. I went to culinary school, and currently I'm trying to become a private chef.
Oh,
But yeah, my field is the culinary arts.
not bad. I respect it. How did you get connected with the team or Overwatch in general?
Well, I've always played games in my PC. I used to play TF2. Like, that was like my main game before Overwatch came out. And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, oh, this is going to kill TF2. And I started playing since closed beta. I got the key, and I played since day 0. And, for me, it did kill TF2s, and Overwatch became my first game. And still to this day, it's probably my most played game. I've never stopped playing it. I play off and off, on and off, ever since day 0.
And
I'll be in.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering about the heroes that you played in that time. Has that stayed the same, or you've changed quite a lot since then?
Well, I love playing every hero. Like, I love, figuring every hero out, trying to get good with every single hero. I don't have, I haven't been consistent with one hero. Maybe like Hitscan, their role. It's probably the thing that I'm the best at or more consistent, but I've tried to play every single role, every single hero.
Impressive. That's the kind of mindset I go into. Like, I play a lot of support when I started out Overwatch 1, come to Overwatch 2. Just anything goes. But most likely you'll see me on tank, mostly to fix queue times, but then the queue times will be like exploding to 20 minutes these days. So I just kind of flex on DPS and less the hit scan rolls, but I've been getting a good kick about playing anything they can get my hands on. Dab, is that more or less how it's like when you play? Just playing anything, or do you have a particular role yourself in-game?
Yeah, usually I play support or tank. Whatever my friends need. So I'm not a tryhard player. I'm just a casual gamer. I'm a dad of 2 kids, so you can imagine I don't have enough time to play.
Very true. Very valid.
Yeah, but I'm passionate about social media, and I know how to use Photoshop and edit videos. So I think that got me on a slot in this comedy. So yeah, I think that's my
great.
story.
No, that's awesome. So I take it you guys have been collective leaders for everyone now. What you guys have been up to as a team since you guys have joined. This was you might want to help me with the scheduling here. Was this all the way back in February? The committee was formed together. So Banish through I guess more like your head coach for this team. How did that formulate together, or does anyone know? Up to that point, how the trials went? Did you guys have any opinions on your experience trialing for Costa Rica?
I don't know if Vanish wants to go first.
Do you want to start off, Dab, and I'll hop in?
Okay. Yeah, well, as you can know, Costa Rica is like a tiny country. I mean, the whole population of Costa Rica is like 5 million people. So we are like a tiny country, passionate about games, but Overwatch in Costa Rica was having a difficult moment at last year until Overwatch 2 came. So we didn't have like enough players supporting the game, So when the committee was formed by Blizzard and we received, the invitation to be part of the committee and start doing the process to make this team and all the things that we needed to do first, we had a difficult moment because Blizzard choose like an organization here locally to do all the things, to schedule all the matches and form the teams. But it was a struggle because we had a lot of players that they were playing solo queue basically. They didn't have a team. In Costa Rica, we had like a community league, but it was like we only had like two strong teams. These guys came from one of those two teams. So as you can imagine, it was a hard time to find the right people because no one had the experience playing like in a real competitive scenario. So that's when we got the direction from Vanish, and he was like a light in a dark path, basically.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if you want to add something else, Vanish, from your
Sure.
perspective.
I came in just as a player who had been playing around the competitive scene since the beginning. I'd been playing on teams. I competed in DreamHack 2017, DreamHack Montreal 2017, and then at LAN ETS Montreal in 2018. Were some LAN events that I went to, and I placed top 5 in Open Division. So I had been playing around the competitive scene for a while and had experience playing with teams, and some of the people I had played with even went on to Overwatch League, and I was able to consult them for advice on how to structure a team at this level. And I just brought in all my experience with coaching and structuring a team and applied it to this roster.
Oh, hey, that's awesome. So, what do you know exactly around what time that you started joining? So, there was the community that was formed. So, once the committee was there, I hear that a lot of the different representatives regions all had their open trials, all kind of just done by another organization. It was pretty hands off, and even for the local community that I have here in New Zealand, they just said, "Oh, okay, well, if they're going to do that, then I guess we kind of form a team with that because we have no idea when it's scheduled, or it was just going to be pitched up from like the community tournament bracket makers. I can't remember the name, but I'm sure that even the hosting that was all hands off from there after all that was over. Was that when you joined? Just afterwards or during those trials?
When I joined?
Yeah.
I joined a little bit before the trials. I'd started coaching the team. As that roster had already started, like the roster that was formed to play in the trials was made, and they brought Winter on, and I had joined as a result of Winter. So I'd already started coaching them, and judging we were pretty confident going into the trials that our roster was going to be chosen by the committee, given that it's like any small region. There's not usually enough good players to form 2 good rosters, especially when they expect you to have 7 players on a roster. It's hard to get that many. Like I mentioned earlier, there's usually teams have a weak link. You have that one plat player that fills out your roster, and your average might be okay, but you still have that weak link. And for them, we were actually able to grab a really good roster of 7 players together. And so with that in mind, we had how many of us were together? It was 6 of us were together going into the trials.
Yeah,
6. Yeah.
We're only missing Carmack. Yeah.
Yeah, we met Carmack afterwards, so we were pretty confident leading into it, and we were right. Like you guys were finished those trials in what, like record time? It was something ridiculous. You guys like 3-0'd the
whole thing. Yeah,
You had like
The
a
whole thing.
regional world record on one map or the entire series?
the whole thing was just
The
3-0.
The whole tournament.
The whole
Yeah,
tournament.
it was like
Guys,
they walked.
Speed run.
I shouldn't
They
be
went. The guys
surprised.
looked
You
flawless
speed run,
on the
you
map.
had time for donations. Yeah, look, that's crazy. As far as I know, was it ever recorded? Did you guys find a upload of any broadcasts for those trials or anything since then? That you guys
They
gotten up to?
streamed it, but
Did
it
they?
seems like they didn't had the recording enabled, so it didn't get recorded.
It's lost footage now. So
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like
that's the
some
secret.
people who, yeah, there's some people who streamed it on their end. So like, there's some POV stuff that you could maybe find around.
On
Yeah.
just Twitch streams of the players themselves. Do you guys know?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was some kind of uploads, and some of them might have been deleted by now because of
Yeah.
It
how
might
Twitch
have
behaves.
been, yeah.
That's why I'm not.
Yeah,
on
and
Twitch.
the thing with that, it was like crazy. The people from the organizers of the tournament were like, it was a mess. They were unresponsive. We had to reach out Blizzard to get their attention because we had like lots of players playing solo that wanted to be part of a team. They didn't answer, and also in that rush of doing all that work, we didn't have an official Twitch account to do the streaming. So one of the committee members, which is a streamer, our general manager, he used his own channel with his audience, and he streamed the trials. So that's
Oh.
why we don't have an official footage because
There was official footage. That's the correction there. It's just it never got uploaded. It wasn't really
It
shared.
never, yeah, it never
Exactly.
got recorded, unfortunately.
Yeah, so well, that really stinks because I would have definitely had that kind of content in the background to share with everyone here to see what the trials were like for your country. That's one of the good things, I guess. You have to find one of the lights in that too. It's more the case that if you're Team China, who can't even have trials, they just managed to pick up the players from Overwatch League, or you are many other regions who didn't get their broadcasts at all, or South Korea, the strongest one of every generation of the World Cup, they just don't have any VOD footage, barely any, to learn about the players and what their strategies would be and what their preferred heroes are. So you guys also have the same upper hand where everyone will underrate you, but nobody knows how you guys will perform. You guys will be as unpredictable as, say, the Chengdu Hunters, or just any roster that would play anything they want. Just play your comfort picks. Are you guys working towards the meta, or you guys have your favorite heroes you're looking forward to playing?
yeah, actually, there's a YouTube video of someone analyzing the countries of the World Cup, and and he was like doing exactly what you said about Costa Rica in that video. He didn't know what was the strategy, or he didn't even know which character Baru plays.
That's even better. The mystery
They have
sauce.
nothing to go off of, yeah.
He
Not even
had a
ranked
hard
footage.
time figuring out what a flex player does.
Well, that's true, right? A flex can be anything between all these different DPS players into one. And there's no actually. Everyone calls it a flex role, but it could even well be that you play Roadhog or that you play a really sick Mercy. Nobody knows.
Exactly.
Were you happy to share what kind of roles that you guys play amongst the team? What kind of heroes that you prefer, or ones that you are looking forward to?
Okay.
He really stood up. Oh no, he's bringing out the big guns.
Yeah, he's bringing out the trophy, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I could start. I do the hit scans. Mainly, I really enjoy Widowmaker. That would be like my top hero. And then I do like the other ones, the traditional ones, the Kree, the Ash, Soldier 2. I have to like also flex into some other DPS whenever it's necessary. But yeah.
Okay, and before I go to someone else on that, Winter, there's a really important thing that one of my co-hosts who isn't here today want to ask. There happens to be more than one Winter across Contenders. Do you happen to know any of them, or are you the Winter from Contenders Australia, or the one from Contenders China by any chance?
No, I'm not either of them. I kind of stumbled upon that when I was looking at a Contender stream once. I was like, wait, why did it have my name? But no, the most I ever did apart from this, I did some of Collegiate, and that's about it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty impressive. And real quick, what was Collegiate like? Because I remember talking to someone who was in Collegiate who currently plays for the Toronto Defiant, Hydron. He played a little bit before going straight to Florida Mayhem at the time, last year. Now he's in full Overwatch League.
Collegiate was interesting. I honestly, it was really, I don't know, I feel like unorganized the semester I did it, because I remember a lot of matches like the teams just didn't show up. And because we didn't really have to play, we kind of had points automatically assigned, and then our run kind of ended really quick because we couldn't really rack up enough points to move on forward. It was weird.
Do you remember who you faced off against, or was that the problem? Like, you had so many sort of like handout points because people didn't come to their matches.
I feel like I've had more than 3 teams that they just bailed, and so it was like, okay, you win by default. I'm like, that sucks, but okay.
You take it as a win. This definitely goes on your record, though, as a good thing. What about the last team that you fought? Because I know there was a lot of big names in there, like your Northwood Esports and Redbird, that I think would have been very hard to come over or get face to face. Do you remember what was the last team that you matched up
against? I don't remember. I know besides collegiate, my college team also played like in other college tournaments that wasn't specifically the Blizzard one. And we've played against teams like Bryant and Stratton before, so I think they ended up somewhat like they were like in the top 20 of this most recent one, I think. So yeah, I'm not much of a stranger to those teams that kind of have recognition.
Yeah, shout out to the community in chat, as well as at the same time I get a little bit of Nari herself, everybody. Woo!
Hello.
Yo. Camp.
You get center stage.
I may or may not have been playing quick play.
Nari.
I may or may not have been playing Farah.
Oh my god, it's the Nari herself? That's crazy. How are you doing?
You play Sorgen?
I do.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
Damn. Look at that.
I may or may not have just ended a quick play game, and I may or may not have lost, and I may or may not have been playing Farah.
Oh, well, cheer up then. At least you may not have had a good kill streak on Farah another time.
Oh no, I hard carried. We still lost to a hog. It was crazy. Yeah. Anyway,
you haven't
Costa Rica.
Yes. Welcome to Costa Rica. You have now arrived at the truest destination.
Now traveling to Costa Rica.
That's literally the title of our stream, so it's awesome. Community
That's
people,
great.
Thanks, man. Pog champs around. There's a few collegiate guys in Overwatch League right now, which would be good for the Overwatch League environment. True. We're just saying winter could totally be Overwatch League ready.
I believe it.
Like to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone here, including ourselves, we're Overwatch League quality production right here, and you guys all get to be part of it in the chat.
I mean, it's not setting the bar very high.
Well, that's
Wow.
It depends. Is it NA? Is it NA
that.
or is it West or East? West or East?
Weast. WEAST.
No, East is the bare minimum production. It's so sad.
I thought that's what I said about the West. Then the East was so chill.
At least
and laid
the
back.
West is a cool desk.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. That's it.
Just coming back to where we were before. Yeah, that's winter. Everyone's got some idea of winter's experience in collegiate. Benji or Barrow, who wants to go? Yeah, no, we're just talking about what kind of heroes you've been scheming on or what you want to get up to. Barrow's being a little bit secretive about what kind of strats or heroes that you're going to be playing, which I think is for the best if you don't want to share it. But hey, look, if you want to throw a curveball in there, I would love to. I've already said that you're probably possibly a great Mercy man. It could be completely way off.
I am. I pretty much am.
Ball.
What can I say? The best Mercy in Costa Rica. I don't know.
Mercy ball combo.
Sounds
sure.
like a low bar.
I doubt about that one.
Me and Benja go at it with Mercy. I don't know.
Yeah. The TXTX Mercy go crazy.
He's our dedicated e-girl.
Yeah, can you hear it from the sound of my voice?
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
good hands all
That's
around.
Go ahead,
my
Benji.
favorite one.
Benji, tell him. Benji,
Tell
tell
him. Tell us.
Well.
It's your time to shine.
Oh, okay. No pressure.
Isn't
no
that a
pressure.
Winston quote? Is he a Winston man?
What?
You're Winston wondering? Your time to shine.
No.
It's
no.
my time.
No, sir.
This is why I have Nari, the soundboard expert.
Yeah. So I play mostly support. I'm like from so long ago. When I started playing Overwatch, I really liked like Anna as a character, and I really like Lucio. I saw a lot of DPS tanky videos, and Frogger, and a lot of these cool Lucio players, and I found his gameplay pretty fun. So I have like a lot of issues looking forward to what was my main. Eventually, I got coached by one of French players, and he told me like, "Well, bro, you have to decide because you cannot play like both of them, like in a team environment." So from that, I get in like a lot of teams. So I play like both roles to see like which of those I like the most, like a main support or flex support. And the role that I play the most till this point is probably main support. So I stick around like those heroes, but I'm someone that is very flexible. I mean, I can play Anna, Sen, like any flex support hero I can play. I'm very confident I can play any of those heroes at like any level. So I have no issues in that, and especially now considering the Overwatch 2 is a game that brought the double flex support meta. Um, it's something that suits me very well. Thus, as I said, right now I'm mostly dedicated to be a main support player. That means countless hours of Brig and maybe Mercy, which is a hero that I not enjoy a lot. But I have to get the hours in there. So yeah, mostly main support and a huge amount of hours on Lucio, and he's a hero that I will never get bored of.
Honestly, it's a great design, Lucio in general. If you do get to play in the World Cup, that's going to be your foray. You'll be able to show the world some Costa Rican Lucio. And I think underrated is South America's representation in the entire Overwatch hero roster. So just being able to play someone that's as close to national as you can is actually pretty rock solid. Hands down, though, I respect the Brig plays. If you have to pick it up, not because you want to, but because you reckon the team's going to need that. Especially with the changes to her flat panel 1080p HD shield when she presses her Q. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
What are your personal thoughts on this hero?
It's a playstyle. It's a playstyle. Like if you're a good Lucio player, you're generally gonna be a great Brick player. So a lot of the mentality and mechanics of the heroes are very similar. Like if you just focus on shutting down, and disabling like some parts of the enemy team, it just comes natural on both parts of the spectrum. So it's a hero that obviously is not like as moving and a lot of things going on at the same time as Lucio, but they share like a lot of key points that I would say that honestly it's a very enjoyable hero, and we had a lot of changes. It comes down to be on a very unique playstyle. Like it's very obvious if you see like the lower end of the rank system, people like probably on gold and plat and even in diamond, like they would say, "Oh, Brig is a horrible hero. She like does nothing well." And if you go to very very high elo, the hero is like broken with a correct playstyle. So all this type of stuff that it's like, oh, okay, like understanding a hero that maybe is like not very understandable by the people. It's very interesting, and it's something that I enjoy a lot.
Okay, I'll open up this question to anyone who's played support. Lifeweaver. Thoughts? I think it's the first I talked about this hero, because there's a lot of heroes I want to maybe do like a year review on this, but Lifeweaver especially has been generating a lot of news. Unplayable and calm, but people are still going to give it a shot to see how far. I think somebody named Fran, small YouTuber, on the big Twitch follower.
Small streamer.
Small streamer. Yeah,
kind of low rank. Not
unrated
sure
to top 500.
This
guy plays
underdog
with only melee. He's never used a left click before on primary fire. This guy is, I think, somewhere, but I've never heard of it. At Twitch? Nah, sounds like a small indie company.
Yeah, underdog.
What's the thoughts on Lifeweaver? Just to everybody here, including Nari herself.
Sucks.
That character just sucks.
Straight to the point. I like it.
It's a shame.
Yeah, care to elaborate?
I mean, the kid's really interesting, but it doesn't fit very well with how the game's being played at the moment. And also, like his abilities just don't work. Like you pull somebody and then the pull just gets broken or the pedal just gets stuck. It's a very niche hero. Maybe it can work. Maybe it needs a rework. But like in my opinion, it's just it doesn't work. Like I don't know, the hero just compared to other healers, why would you play Lifeweaver if you can play Ana or Baptiste? Like who are you gonna help? Maybe the meta doesn't fit it. Doesn't fit him very well. I don't know.
On its own.
Disregarding
You've got like the left click, right? And you have to charge it up. I only just found out that you can go into his hero settings and you can change it. Instead of having to hold to click charge, you could do it the opposite, where you click to start the charge and then click again to let go.
Oh, toggle charge.
Yeah, so you're not having to just constantly squeeze your mouse. That's one other way to play his healing move. And as well as they've now done the patch to quick fix how it changes between the two primary fires to do melee. Oh, sorry, and to shoot from a distance. So I think his kit in isolation seemed like a good hero design at first. It's just in the practice of Overwatch, it doesn't keep
on
up.
Paper,
right?
he sounds like he could be like really helpful, but just with like how the game is, not even just meta wise, but just like how I guess it's played. He just sucks.
I could have seen him getting played in 2CP. Maybe in the game modes aren't even his fit.
In 2CP, and I feel like
worked.
in like a second coming of Goats, something similar to that could might do well in something like that. Because it wasn't like all like the Goats, like the heals in Goats were just like super low healing characters that you just play for utility. So I feel like maybe we could fit into something like that.
I mean, he does a lot.
Objectively, he's a bad design from a game that struggle with toxicity, and you give players more tools to
be toxic.
It's just like that alone. It's just a bad design. They've struggled with toxicity in the game. Like Blizzard already struggled with this ability because they gave it to priests in World of Warcraft. Like Life Grip isn't a new idea. They stole it from one of their other games, World of Warcraft. It's a ability for the priest. I don't even know.
Yeah, but when have we known Blizzard for not stealing things from their other games, or even games that aren't even their own?
Yeah, I mean, they should know by talking to that team that it was a bad idea when they added it to that class in WoW, and it's a bad idea adding it into Overwatch just based off of that.
I mean, I've played some WoW, and I've seen it be sort of helpful, but I do get what you're saying.
And it's the same thing in Overwatch as it will be in WoW. It's very useful at the very top level. Like in top level raiding in WoW, it's used to help someone if they walk into a raid mechanic.
Walk into.
Exactly. You save someone who walks somewhere they're not supposed to, and you pull them out. And in Overwatch, you can help pull a tank out of somewhere they might have gotten pulled into. Right? Like a Roadhog pulls them in, you pull them back out. Great. But for everybody else, it's really bad. And for a team that's talked about how they balance the game around the lower ranks, this just doesn't even make any sense now.
And even the Overwatch League teams
in lower ranks, limited. You have that clip of a person gathering the ult of people in the middle of the fight. So
I mean, like it's very niche situations where it really comes in clutch. Like last night, I played a little bit of Lifeweaver. End of the game, didn't really pull through any victories with it, but it's just the moment that someone gets shattered as Zarya, and you just pick them up and you got yourself a platform. They can just sleep in, rest easy after being shattered, just sitting on a platform high above. But that just saves one hero that's been shattered. If you could do any more than that, I'm sure that would be a funky way to try to get more usage out of his life grip. But it's already on a high cooldown. The range is relatively limited, but for good reason with its design. But it's just very situational that you can use it to combine with ultimates, like they described, to really give it that extra oomph. It's no Suzu, but Kiriko is a whole different topic about her immune invulnerability.
Lifeweaver reminds me of like Bastion in Overwatch 1, where like if you played him, you're trolling, but like he worked sometimes. Maybe like at the end of a game, and you can just burn people. Or like Symmetra when she was all the reworks. It's like another hero that it's very finicky. Like it doesn't have a place in the game. It doesn't fit well, and I think they're going to rework him because like he's healing. Every other hero in the game can do more healing than him. Every other healer can do more damage than him, and like his abilities are wonky. So I don't know. Right now he doesn't fit, but I can see him fit in the game. But I think it was bad timing.
his numbers were made around his utility, and since they're so low and his utility is like sucks a lot more than they anticipated, it doesn't work. I think if they bumped up the numbers, they might be able to make him better. But I don't even then. Kind of.
I mean,
he's also extremely easy
It
to kill.
depends. On,
He only has his dash. You shoot him twice, and he has to like go away.
Lifeweavers are the freest railgun charge besides
If you
tanks.
headshot him, he dies. I don't know.
well, if you also notice how many people are playing Roadhog at like a decent competitive level, like no one, right?
No one's
And
doing it.
objectively,
It's very
if there was some hypothetical meta revolving around a Roadhog getting picks, you would see Lifeweaver being played, right? Like that would be
Pulling away.
Yeah, the golden white
okay.
right. And so with Roadhog not being played and having now like that would be your obvious counter to it. So
I think he's only going to work if a meta gives him the opportunity to work,
yeah, exactly.
or in a certain map or a certain strat. But after that, you just swap.
What about the ultimate? Is that still very situational burst healing that comes through, or do you think it's not enough? Do you think it's actually
I really
clutchable
like
with
it.
it?
It's a good
I
ult.
like
It just sucks that it's on a bad hero.
Again,
But
I
still, you
did a
can
bit of
control your
workshopping.
teammates.
Yeah, it can be a bit weird because one, it's great for blocking entries if people are coming from spawns. So I think map specific, he's really got potential. But you know, if you're gonna use him on push, I actually just get him out of spawn first, and if my teammates are lagging behind because they don't have movement abilities, I can just life grip
Or if they
Diana
get
from
the bad spawn.
Yeah, if they get the bad spawn, and I've got the good one, yeah, you can just life grip them to bring them close to the fight. That's probably the most utility I get out of it consistently. And then try to combine that with the ultimate. I would tweak it so that I hold right click to place it, and then when I let go, it will release the giant tree onto my teammates. And I guess there's still ways that you can probably still tinker with it, and you might be one of the best Lifeweaver heroes if you maintain a certain level of accuracy that the left click doesn't require, but the right click does. I don't know, maybe you can go all out from there. But yeah, we've yet to see anyone do that at a certain level.
When he first came out, he did more healing when he was dead because he dropped his pedal.
It's true.
You get more value when your healer is dead, which is like kind of crazy, you know.
They can heal the enemy team, so it actually did more healing than the other team.
Yep.
Do you miss that? Having that option to pick up a health pack by letting your Lifeweaver die first in a team fight?
I mean,
I didn't even know that was a thing. So
Yes, again,
Yeah, when he
completely
first came
situation,
out.
didn't even notice.
When he first came out, when he died, he dropped a pedal, and it was like a mega, right? It was the equivalent of a mega.
It was the equivalent of Mega for your team.
Oh yeah.
It was a mini
He
for
did
your
more
And then it was like a
healing when
mini
he
for the
died.
enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
And they took it out because like they realized, oh, kind of bad.
well,
And
also
the
there's
fact
already
that the
so much
enemy can
reward.
use it was what made it bad, I think.
And a lot of other
obviously.
game designs have that kind of risk reward of letting your healer die if they have
But
this
there's
ability.
There's already too much reward for diving the backline and killing a healer in Overwatch. And if
Now
you
they
give
heal
more
you.
of it, now it heals you for doing it. Like that's just ridiculous. Like-
Crazy.
Like
You're
imagine
rewarding
a tracer,
dive.
a
Jesus.
tracer can take risky double blink, one clip the Lifeweaver, and not have to recall, and goes for a second duel because she just got healed off Lifeweaver's skill.
Yeah, because she has her cooldowns again. She never used them in the first place.
Well, it's not even like you have to recall because you took some damage going for the duel. You
Exactly.
got healed off the duel, right? It's again like it's just bad design. But when have we ever seen good design from the Overwatch development team?
Not in a long time.
And just to
Exactly.
sunset the support talk, there is obviously a roadmap that we've been looking through, and one of them mentioned in Season 6, not only is the PvE going to be this new redesigned version that they had in mind, but there will be a new support hero at the same time. What are the chances that for the second support hero since Overwatch 2, but I would say probably third major support hero, which has been very controversial, coming in to fill a void in the support slot? Because I think there's always an opportunity to bring more support hero ideas and put them into the playing field. But after we've seen a couple just not go well on launch or be completely ego boosted by being the meta, as we've seen Kiriko and we've seen with Brigitte historically in Season 1 of Overwatch League, what are you guys looking forward to in a new support hero?
I have
That's
no
like
idea
a
what.
Benji question, bro.
Yeah, I'm going
Hmm.
heavy. Just let that sink in.
Hmm.
Process.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about everything wrong with a hero. Okay,
Sure.
so we waited like super. The supers are like right now the role that has the fewest amount of heroes, by a lot. Okay, so we just get a little bit close with Lifeweaver to tanks. DPS still have a lot of players. So Kiriko at first was like a pretty nice addition because she had a lot of everything, and it's very
She
very
still
obvious that
does.
Kira is, yeah, and it still does have a lot of everything. She's very OP. I still believe that it's very wild the amount of time that she's immune during Suzu. Sadly, the like not really good part about it, it's a hero that you can get away with a lot of things that previously, especially in Overwatch 1, you will get punished from. So a lot of positioning mistakes or things that like a bad Baptiste player or Ana player or Shen player will struggle. You can just forget about it with Kiriko. But the thing with Kiriko is that at least it's a very fun hero to play. That the two-tap thing on the head is very satisfying. And, apart from the part that she's OP, at the end of the day, it's a pretty fun hero to play. And like, at least from like a gamer perspective, it's something that we appreciate a lot, especially from the super role, that we have some heroes that maybe are not like really enjoyable. So that's the thing. Then we go to Lifeweaver, which is not like a very boring hero, but the hero just has like a lot of flaws in a lot of departments, especially like the primary fire and the secondary fire. It was just awkward to play with the hero. The player had like no mobility, and the fun part about Lifeweaver is the playmaking potential, and that's why a super hero, like a super player, likes from the hero. Like when you're on the Ana and you get a big anti, oh, that's a dopamine rush. When you get a big sleep, or whatever playmaking potential you can have with any of these heroes, that is very welcome. Thing with Lifeweaver, is that none of them is really impactful. So there's like a sweet balance between like giving a real reason for a character to have like utility and being that utterly useless, like Lifeweaver case. So from my point of view, if they're gonna include like a new hero, like the new hero, the expectations, I kind of had like a kick in the nuts with Lightweaver. I really expect like a Kiriko style hero, like very flashy, and the hero is like not that. Sorry if I keep just ranting about Lifeweaver. I just have like a lot of thoughts about the hero. Like the primary fire, even the primary fire is like very boring because it's like a spread of thorns. So it's very weird that you barely do damage.
I think it's because it's so
Like,
slow and it does nothing that
Yeah.
just feels really weird to use.
like I don't understand
It's
why
like
what the devs were thinking about. Like, yeah, we should spam with this hero, get close. Like it's very weird. Like it just feels like they just put a lot of different stuff on the hero just to, and it is not like a very concise playstyle. As you can see with, for example, a character like Ana is very straightforward. Okay, you can keep your close. Sorry, your long
can keep my
distance,
close?
your mid long.
Oh, close.
No, no, no,
Close
no,
range,
no, no,
sorry.
no. Yeah. Like the long mid distance, and okay, you go for night, so silver, whatever. But it's like it's there. You pick the character and you understand right off the bat. And we still don't understand like we were at all. So first of all of these like playstyle things, I feel like it's a priority. Like if you feel like a character is funny, it doesn't matter if the character is bad. At first, you can tweak the character, and that's something that Lifeweaver is not there. It's like not even funny, and he needs tweaks. So why even bothering on getting the character released? And
True.
and giving it like a clear objective. Okay, we have a Bridget, which is like a okay. I don't know how to say this in English. Guardaespaldas.
Bodyguard.
How would you pronounce that?
Bodyguard.
This is our first our first Spanish lesson, so just bear with me. How do you say it?
Okay, guardaespaldas is bodyguard, okay, but in Spanish.
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
Okay.
Say it one
Yeah,
more time, nice and slow.
Guarda espaldas.
Guarda es
Guarda.
Guarda.
Guardaespaldas.
Guarda espaldas.
Oh man, you say it so smoothly. Guarda es pas.
It's like I speak the language.
I'm like halfway there, yeah.
Guarda espaldas.
But if
There
you
you
want
go.
to sound
Hey,
from
very
Costa
great.
You
Rica,
did it. You did it.
yeah,
Nice.
if you want to sound like a Costa Rican, you can just say pura vida to everything.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
I've just made a note here to make sure that I remember that around the 48-minute mark, this was the Benji reviews all support heroes, including Lifeweaver.
Wife leaver.
Lifeweaver? Like, wife? No, okay, that's enough of that. Okay.
Wife beater.
Okay.
Living in my wife.
I don't actually know how to continue from that because that was
Knife
so
cleaver.
detailed, so in depth. What about the Costa Rica part of you guys' lives on a daily basis? I know that with the Branish Light, you're from Canada, but for everyone else, growing up or living in Costa Rica, how is it these days when you were growing up? It's honestly just a great place to visit.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Benji. Go ahead.
Like it's our strong point is that this country itself is like very very beautiful. I was so at till 22 years old. I mostly live in Costa Rica, so I never had like the chance to travel to other countries. Last year, I had the pleasure to go to Europe and Mexico, and something that shocks me the most is that here in Costa Rica, our sky is very 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 clean. Like it's there, like it's barely like no type of pollution in the air. So when I arrived at Mexico, I just look at the sky and I was like very concerned because it looks like bluish. I was like, man, I don't know if that's a mountain or whatever. It just seems like very weird. And also like, but there was a kind of like a weird smell in the air. I don't know. Like, I just felt like taking like a walk. I just felt like dirty when I came to the hotel, so I had to take a bath like every day. But hey, here in Costa Rica, like everything is so clear. Like you see the sky is like, so blue and so vivid. Like it just feels very alive. And thus, the part that the country has like beautiful. Oh, I might get in trouble because my pronunciation is very very good. So I'm afraid to say this word. Playas.
Ah,
Beaches.
yeah, the beach,
Beaches.
the beach.
Yeah, the bitch. Sorry.
But it's
It's
not.
not
that's
Sorry,
that's
sorry.
our struggle. That's the Latino struggle. When you said the beach.
Beaches.
The beaches, yeah.
Yeah. So we like yeah, I really advise to look at those places. The mountains here, like the nature. Like I feel like the nature in Costa Rica is a very strong point, and it's something that it's very enjoyable. And when we visit some other countries, and obviously, I love the other countries, but it's something that we miss the most. Like, well, like here in our country, we something didn't appreciate that everything is kind of clean and well preserved.
Honestly, yeah, it's a good point of view from here because, like you said, you're about a country of 5 million.
5
Yep.
million, yeah.
That's the same amount as New Zealand, and we have a very tiny landmass all the way across Australia. Sometimes we're not even on a map because we're that small.
Oh,
Well,
really?
Yeah, really.
You,
There's a whole
People
entire
from-
Reddit of maps without New Zealand, and one of them includes North Korea's international airport. International, we specifically mean it's like probably China that gets inbound, and their map does not show New Zealand.
yeah,
That's
people from
okay.
the U.S. think we are part of Puerto Rico, so they say.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah,
confuses me a lot.
up until roughly 5 minutes ago, I didn't actually know where Costa Rica was.
tough.
Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Brazil. I know it's in that general area, but like to be able to find it specifically, I think a map won't even be enough.
It's
to try
down
find
there.
To be
I will
honest
just
with
hope that
you
the airlines
guys,
know where they're gonna take me if I fly down
we
that
are
way.
located. We are located in Central America, so I know people divide America in North America and South America, but we have Central America, which is a couple of countries there.
Like Argentina, Colombia.
That is South America.
That's South.
It's South America.
Yeah,
That is
like
actually South America,
Honduras.
not Central.
Like
Guatemala.
Mexico.
Guatemala.
Costa Rica,
more
Panama,
like-
Nicaragua.
Mexico's still north.
just above
thank you.
Colombia, it's Panama. And Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Belize.
Yeah, it's basically below Mexico
That's
and above Colombia. All those
Uh-huh.
countries. That's Central
Yes.
America.
Yeah, when I had to take a look back as to what kind of relationships I have with Costa Rica, or at least anything that I know about it prior to this episode, I was listening to Coachella, and they had a band called Gorillaz playing, probably known for their animated characters and their performances that they do on stage. And lo and behold, one of those characters happened to be this guy called Bad Bunny.
He's
Bad Bunny
Puerto
was
Rican.
pretty banging. And then I realized it was Puerto Rican, so I was like, no, it
Yeah.
doesn't
No.
count Puerto Rican at all. So I was like, oh, okay, way off the mark yet again. So I was sad that I couldn't make a connection there either. As much as I tried, I didn't have anything even remotely close. But I think most of the music's pretty similar, like that you guys find very popular. Like in New Zealand, we got a lot of reggae kind of style of music, but I think out in the South and Central Americas, it would be a lot of samba, sort of really laid back kind of music.
Depends
You hear a
where
lot
you
of
are.
day to day.
Depends where you are. Costa Rica has gotten very Americanized over the
Yeah.
years. So we've honestly lost a lot of culture, and we just copy what other countries do sometimes. But it depends on which side of the country you are. It's very different, depending on what province you are. But also, fun fact: Costa Rica usually is ranked number one as happiest place in the planet.
Very true.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, massive.
Well, when you have the type of food that we have, of course you will be happy. And
All right, give me like a little list, a little must-have foods in Costa Rica.
Especially if Baru's cooking it, right?
Oh?
If it's on the
Have a
barbecue.
cook.
Baru, you're the pro on this one.
Well, it depends on where you are, but even our food isn't even. I'm gonna go on a rant, but
Go for it.
our traditional food isn't even. Like the ingredients aren't even from Costa Rica. We get it from other places, and then we made it our own. But the thing that comes to my head, it's gallo pinto, which is like rice and beans, but made our way with
Yep.
like a special sauce that we have, and that's like a
Chief.
staple for breakfast,
Is it
lunch,
like a
or
chili,
dinner,
spicy
or-
kind of sauce?
It's one of
or
those things you can
what?
just eat whenever you
No,
want.
it's like a very savory, like full of MSG, really salty
Mm.
I love chicken sauce.
sauce. But yeah, it depends where you are, and everybody has like a different take of traditional food.
Yeah,
Well,
pork and beans is like a
if-
pretty
if-
impressive one.
If you want a good one, it's a chifrijo. Chifrijo, it's the best.
Chifrejo. What's in it?
Yeah,
Or you want to keep it
It's-
messy?
it's
like-
rice, beans, but it's. Baru, what's the name of those beans? I know they are different.
Creo que le hacen con cubaces.
It's a type of bean that it's called cubase, which is
I think
a
those
big
are,
a big bean,
Red.
Eh,
kind of reddish.
and it has pork and chips. It's
Like
it's
corn
a-
chips, or like is it
Yeah,
corn chips?
Yeah, like corn
Fried
chips.
tortillas.
Yeah, I'd really get into that. That sounds delicious. Just to
It
unwind
is.
something on a Saturday night would be really chill. And on top of that, what would you drink with it? I think you guys might have, like your own specialty drink or any particular drinks you go to, even if it was just like a
I
Sprite
feel like
with a lemonade.
people would drink it with beer. I don't know.
Local beers.
Mhm.
for
Pretty
sure.
heavy on beer. We have a drink called agua de zacate, which is like water with lemongrass and lemon and sugar. Or
Oh,
we're pretty
yeah.
heavy on coffee. We're one of our main exports is coffee beans. You guys probably tasted Costa Rican coffee.
Probably.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't
yeah.
even know.
Actually, Costa Rican coffee is the number one in the world. Rank it, actually.
Rank 1 coffee.
Rank 1 coffee.
That's a big deal. in
That's
this
top.
day and age.
Yeah, everybody drinks
Top
coffee. Where
100.
they get it from is very important these days.
Yeah, we're top 500 in the coffee.
Yeah, no, you can actually claim that. We're probably even top 10. It's top 5.
Do you guys have Starbucks in New Zealand?
We do, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. So unfortunately, yeah. Part of their mix uses our coffee beans.
Oh, no way. Well, that's one
Yes.
reason to support Starbucks, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
I'm impartial
Yeah,
to
As if
like
they didn't have
big chain
enough money.
coffees. Yeah, I always go to like
Well,
a mom and pop store. That's just a thing, and I'm sure you guys do as
I'm
well.
a coffeeholic person, so just a fun fact about Costa Rica is that if we compare our coffee with a sports car, we will be like Lamborghini.
Oh,
Just to give you
like
like
some
an
green
idea.
Mango beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you purchase like the beans from here in another country, they will be like very expensive. So if you go to the US, a tiny, I don't know, like 500 grams, or yeah, half a kilo will be like $70, something like that.
Whoa.
That's
Pretty
impressive.
expensive.
Wow. But good stuff, quality things. Take time to make well and
What
spread
is
around the world.
500?
Yeah, it's
What is-
because our floor here, it's
soil.
volcanic. Yeah, the soil is volcanic.
And it's rather humid out there, isn't it? When
It's
you're
very,
going out.
very humid.
Yeah,
Yes.
we share that same kind of tropical vibe, but not
Yeah,
as humid.
same here. At least where I am.
Where are you about to get there? I've forgotten.
Texas.
Texas. Gosh.
Good old ticks.
God
We
dang.
were right on the
Yeah, it
equator,
gets
so-
really humid where I am because I'm right by the ocean.
Because I've only ever visited
great.
in the US, like the LA sort of side and Vegas, and those I consider pretty darn dry. Relative to New
Yeah.
Zealand.
Wait till you go to Florida.
Yeah, probably not.
I used to live in Miami, and Miami is way more humid than Costa Rica.
I hate Miami.
really?
And Florida in general. That is
Yeah.
terrible.
You've lived or you've also stayed as well?
I've
Winter?
lived there for a while. Like a very short period. It was a few months.
Well, since COVID has kind of opened up several more countries to travel, is there any particular dream countries you'd want to visit? Goes to everybody here.
Spain.
Say that again.
I mean,
Spain, I heard.
Yeah, Spain for me.
Oh,
Korea. For sure.
North Korea?
South Korea.
South Korea.
I think South is implied
No,
there.
Nari
South
just
is
wanted to go to
South
North
is
Korea
very
to see
much
this one map
implied.
without New Zealand on it. That's all, and then just leave. That would be enough. Anywhere else that I missed? I just heard Spain, South Korea.
I mean, I have reason to visit Costa Rica now, so
100%.
Fair enough.
Yeah, same here.
Japan.
Yes, Japan. I
Yeah,
definitely
Japan.
vouch.
I feel like a lot of people want to go to Japan.
The
but, like,
experience-
just a lot of reasons to go.
It's just so
Mhm.
quirky.
Cool
Like it's
place.
very rich culture.
Yeah.
just be careful. There's no subtitles when you get off the plane.
Yeah, they don't do dubs.
Yeah.
They don't do dubs very well. Only maybe like 1 in 100, especially in the central city. You might.
Is there a dub?
Oh, but you have to go for the bullet train, right? If you're talking Japan.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard it's really cool.
What's the transport like in Costa Rica?
Um,
Does it
Yeah.
exist?
you can take the public transport,
Yeah.
just buses or train, but Costa Rica wasn't designed for the future, so we struggle with traffic because the streets were made a very long time ago, and now there's a lot more people, and especially there's like maybe 2 or 3 cars per family, so we're struggling with pretty much everywhere now in Costa Rica with pretty heavy traffic, just because we weren't ready for the amount of cars that they are at the moment.
Even the capital, right? That's just overflowing
it's
with traffic
horrible.
on
Yeah,
busy
Yeah,
Oh,
days.
that was
It's
terrible.
horrible.
Yes.
It's absolute. If you want, if you want to go do something that might would have taken 20 minutes before, now it might take an hour and a half, or
Yeah,
maybe 2
yeah.
hours. If it's
Might as
really
well just walk at that point.
bad. No,
Be the same amount of time.
Nah, yeah, it would take forever.
You could
but-
literally take, the trend is now a bunch of in the big cities especially, the bunch of rental scooters that get littered around the streets. The people would just
Oh
go
god.
riding around. And then they're just
So
like,
It's either-
bad.
yeah, you rent it by the minute, and they also charge you by the, like little fraction for just picking up one of the scooters. But like,
For the convenience.
yeah,
We've
you
tried-
just drop it off, and it's a
they
mess.
just get vandalized and they take them away. They take
Yeah,
them
they just
apart
don't
with-
stop. They just keep
I was gonna
spawning.
say, Spawning is crazy.
Yeah, the spawn rate.
Spawning
electric
is an
scooters too much.
insane statement.
Yeah, that's what I have to go through in New Zealand. Like, I think we love the mobility, and it's because it's just to curb the amount of traffic, and maybe it's just to eventually get people into cycling and owning their own bicycles. So I can see why the councils get behind it here. No doubt, I'm sure there's just most people owning bikes would be smarter than more cars, but that's a car very centric city with how those roads are laid out. I think that's historically how these big cities do grow up and then get a little bit out of hand with traffic.
Our country has like a lot of mountainous aspects to it, so it's kind of hard if people go on that kind of transportation. If they're trying to go like a really steep incline, it's not very effective. So
it's not very flat, Costa Rica, I take it.
It's absolutely not.
Yeah,
you will need a good pair of legs to do that.
Yeah, we have a nickname. They call us the Switzerland of Central America or something like that.
Interesting.
Wacky, but that sounds too good to be true. I'd have to see it for myself and bring my hiking boots or my legs just to walk around.
Bring your legs.
Bring legs. Especially Soldier
Spare
76 legs if you're lucky.
And pack another one, just in case.
Just in case you lose yours or something.
Yeah, if I was Sojourn, if I was short 2 legs, I'd definitely get replacements if they get burnt out. Yeah, going back to the Overwatch talk. How about the World Cup kind of segment that you guys are in? Let's look at the grand scheme of things, right? So you're one of many different countries in it's just Americas, isn't it? There's 2 groups of American teams. And the only footage that I have of where people are rating you so far is ML7, massive Ana main. Great on a number of other supports because he's very close with Blizzard. But even just from looking at it from outside perspective, there's literally no clue how it's going to be picking the third of 3 different participants across each group, if I'm not mistaken. So there's total 6 in the World Cup.
For the whole region, yeah.
Yeah, 2 per like region.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the current situation you guys will be in. So I believe you guys got some matches coming up in the coming weeks.
In about June, I think, in the middle of June. We have, I think, 1 more month to prepare, and then it's go time.
As far as who we're up against, we don't know that yet.
Yeah, we don't know like the seeds or the ranking. I mean, we know who we're playing against, but we don't know when or who we're playing. Like who in our grouping we're playing against yet.
All right,
Well,
so
what
it's
I can tell you is that some of the players from Guatemala, especially the support players, one of them used to play for a local team here in Costa Rica. It's called like Binzi, I think. He was part of a local team called F30s, which is from the community league. So I know that guy is a really good support.
Binzi, B1NZY. Binzi.
Yeah, correct.
I've heard of this name before. That's crazy. If I'm thinking as far back as I remember it, I think he worked with Discord or was just in some of the community fields around there with Overwatch and the Reddit scene. I'm surprised, that name's even come up, and maybe it is just a coincidence. But yeah, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, that's what I know from my side.
Let's see.
We have like steep competition with the northern countries like USA, Canada. Could be a probably strong team as well.
I was gonna say,
people are
no one's
speculating
same
that
group as the U.S. and Canada. Good luck.
yeah, people are
Yeah, and
speculating that Puerto Rico is gonna be decent this year or something. But we don't know. We know like the NA teams, how they can, what they can perform to, but the other guys we're not too sure of.
And I hope Blizzard help us with the ping situation because American players will be like 10 milliseconds and we are like 100 milliseconds. So I hope they fix that.
Yeah, I play around 120, 130 most of the time.
And is that tolerable to play competitively? Because I think a lot of people do struggle.
Honestly,
after
I'm
120.
extremely impressed how Overwatch did ping. Like I don't know how they did it, but it's the only game that I can play competitively at high level and like ping doesn't affect me. Back when I played TF2, 70 ping in TF2 is unplayable. Like just unplayable. And then I played Overwatch. I'm like, I have really high ping, but like it doesn't affect me. It's it honestly might be the reason why I stuck with Overwatch for so long, because the ping doesn't get in my way. I have high ping, but like it doesn't. I don't know how they did it, but it's playable. It's very playable.
Do you think it helped that it went from 6v6 to 5v5, and so there's fewer players to have to matchmake?
No, I've never struggled with like ping since Overwatch 1. I've always had high ping in every single game. Maybe I'm even used to it. But even in Overwatch 1, ping wasn't really an issue. I can feel like sometimes I lose a 1v. I'm like, oh, that dude might just had better ping. But Overwatch has always done a pretty good job at like having an even playing field. I think they have like a system of whoever shoots first in a server gets like gets the hit off first. I'm not sure. Like maybe Banish knows, but
there's a shooter's priority. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the ping, it's pretty solid. Even if I ping,
I differ in the opinion greatly because I came from the US, so I had the desirable ping, but when I came here, if do you guys remember, like towards the end of Overwatch 1, they did like some rework with the system to make like the ping, like if it was around 90 ms, it was pretty tolerable. Like it felt really, really well to play with.
Yeah, I remember. This was around the Gauntlet time. They brought back the Gauntlet to bring all these other nations, especially Australia versus China and Korea, that kind of thing. I think it was a Gauntlet only for that East Asia and Asia Pacific kind of region, interestingly.
Yep.
And they did something out, Europe and Americas, which was interesting as well because of that. And it actually honestly looked really good.
Yes, so that felt incredible when I was playing. I was visiting the country at the time. I was playing with that new rework they did. It felt amazing because I used to play it here before when I would visit, and it was terrible. Like I didn't want to play Overwatch. They did that, and I feel like when Overwatch 2 came out, they just got rid of it. It felt like how it was before, and for me, it's kind of annoying. But these guys have been playing with it forever. I don't know if
I'm
they're
used to it.
used to
I've
it
never,
at this point.
I've never played a single game without a high ping in my entire life. Like I've always, like on Call of Duty, I played 2 or 3 bars. I've never played Overwatch under like 90 ping ever. Like I don't even know how it feels like to play with good ping. It's like
amazing.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Way better.
Oh, well, pack your bags then. No, in reality, I feel like a lot of people love playing hit scan on LAN environments where you are playing as close to each computer as possible. And it's a shame. Yeah, we don't have a LAN
the
option.
equivalent of that
I'm
on
in
high
Canada.
ping is playing like Pharah. If you play Pharah on high ping, it's basically hit scan.
That's
really
hit scan, yeah, in a nutshell.
Why
Some
is
just
honestly
work so much better.
Playing in Canada, I get some of the same issues where all the servers in the States, and I live in the middle of nowhere, Canada. It's
I was trying to fight to put you in a good place, but it's neither is better than the other.
Yeah, it's like because I'm kind of north of Central, but Central's really far south for me, so I get no good servers. Best is Seattle. But in general, Blizzard's always done really well with their network engineering. Like this goes back to they've had to work on it a lot since StarCraft. And so, because they always tried to connect the Korean players to the North Americans, traditionally in StarCraft. So coming into Overwatch, when they engineered the game, they had lots of that in mind, I think. And that's why they spent a lot of time developing their networking engine in the Overwatch engine, whatever they developed for it, to handle the high latency really well. And that's where I think that historically comes from. Like any company, if they have a history of handling these sort of problems, lots of those solutions get carried over from game to game. And I think they got a lot of that from, they made World of Warcraft, which with any MMO, you have to handle a ton of networking, all those players in like the same area. And then in StarCraft is like the esport, it's the game that created esports. And they were able to, and then they were able to handle networking with that. So I think with that experience, they were able to develop something really good for Overwatch.
And it's held up relatively well as well. Given that they changed Overwatch 2, as Winter mentioned, it's kind of dropped off some kind of that network optimization. But hey, look, it's not like they couldn't bring that back, like looking for group or any number of things like On Fire that's coming back next season. Just little things like that, which you'd wonder why was it dropped in the first place. But I'm guessing this whole new engine has changed up a whole lot of basic things we could always do in Overwatch 1. It's nice to see it back again, even if it's a little late or longer than it should have taken to bring it
I
back on
want to
release.
inspect.
Which ones?
They said you can inspect your weapons, and we can't.
Yeah, all of that and the trailer
And
is
at
yet to
the
come together.
earliest, it'll be in like season 6 or something. They said is
Weapon specs in season 6 in a new hero.
at the
and
earliest,
PvE.
but I don't expect that.
Yeah, and that's going to come out
we don't
in
trust them anymore.
August. That's really when they're going to try to kick off a lot, or maybe even September, based on how season 6 scheduling works. If it's going to be in the tail
Well,
end.
knowing about things that they promise, they'll probably just take out weapon inspects and then excuse it by saying that like it just wasn't working or something.
Yeah, I mean, if the conversation from the director's take, Aaron Keller, in his little news article, well, his personal written article on his thoughts on why PvE had to be changed up so much that they couldn't do the original plan anymore. Yeah, we're just gonna have to get used to a lot of things changing, and this is the closest we've gone to anything concrete on that news. Yeah, it's just gonna be a very big year for them, but it's probably not how they expected it to turn out, and they kind of knew it wasn't going to be good news either way from what they originally intended.
I can't imagine they expected anyone to be happy with that.
Yeah, everybody just like that.
At this point, they're experiencing bad PR.
And that's okay. I think that's what got me into Overwatch in general. When I heard so much about it, I was like, well, what is this? Why should this news interest me that Tracer has a victory pose that shows way too much of her lower end? I don't know why that got me, but that's how I got into it. If I'm going to be really blunt, there was a lot of reasons to want to like the game, but I had no idea what this was. And then this news pops up, and it's like, okay, we'll change it.
Sure, you're not the only person that has been drawn in by Tracer's ass, huh?
The fact that they changed it, and it's almost like the same thing. And then I was like, yeah, no, we changed it, like you promised. And then I was like, oh, I think these guys know what they're doing. These days, I don't know if they can keep doing that.
Wall. It's the same. You can still emote up against a wall and get the same thing. It's like
yeah. So the controversy machine is something that Blizzard's been known to do quite often. So I think this is all part of that greater plan to hopefully figure things out right. But they've never consistently done that, and so that trust will eventually, come in 2 folds or 3 folds if it works the way that they wanted to with the story PvE. And their rethinking of the entire skill tree, which has been abandoned, and what they want to do for seasonal cycles for the PvE. Anything else you want to add?
From what I've heard about them shutting down PvE, it just comes from the higher ups looking at it from a money point of view. It costs way more to develop a single player experience, and they can't sell it. So, or people were expecting to just get it. So why would they spend way more money on something that'll earn them way less profit when they can just pump out a few skins for the PvP?
Yeah.
And cosmetics for the battle pass and just keep making money that way. If they want to make money doing a single player experience, they'll probably just make more content for World of Warcraft or something, right? So for them, it just doesn't make sense from a numbers point of view. And that's what I've heard why they shut it down, because it was also getting very expensive. They kept having to change direction with it and put off development or put off the release, I guess.
There was a thread on Twitter from one of the animators that he made a lot of talents, and it's a shame. And honestly, it hurts me a little bit to watch all the passion and all the effort and dedication. And well, a little bit of background about myself. I studied 3D animation here in Costa Rica, and I took some studies in the US. So I know that all the type of stuff takes a lot of time. It just comes down to preparation, looking, refining. You have even the animator, if he couldn't get any footage, he has to go in his way and act the way out. And there was a lot of really fun ideas. For example, Blade, Genji just gets the blade, and the dragon comes out and eats some null sector robots and stuff. So it's it really hurts looking at all that really cool stuff that people would be people will freak out. Just get it scrubbed away because there are many reasons, and some of them, all these animators and a lot of people in the Overwatch team, they can't do anything about it. It's just like the sad reality. Even if they are the team, they can't do anything about it. It's just like a decision coming up.
Months working on some of that, and it's just no more.
Yeah.
I
It
wonder,
does feel
like,
like a big
where all the
loss.
So the animation like space, I can't imagine that's uncommon.
Mhm.
I imagine stuff like that happens all the time, where you work on something and then it just gets scrapped because it's either too expensive or just not working.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we even backtrack it as far as to the origins of Overwatch, when it was Project Titan, PvP
Right,
turned
yeah.
MMO, and then that MMO idea of
Overwatch
Titans
itself
didn't work.
is a scrapped idea.
Yeah, I mean that's the origin possibly of the Vancouver Titans brand, because Titans and the original game that it was based off to make Overwatch. Just there's not a coincidence,
Oh.
right? There's probably a connection there too. I'm
It's
sure there's
definitely a coincidence.
there's nothing more specific than that, because I'm pretty sure I don't see anything when I see Guangzhou Charge or Chengdu Hunters there. That's just their own thing that just happens to connect to Overwatch League. And they did that. with
Yeah,
their
the
20
Chengdu
million.
Hunters have nothing to do with Hunter x Hunter. Nothing to do with that. at all.
Nothing to do with animes, no. And Hangzhou Spark being, if you guys have seen the logo for Hangzhou, it's a pink arrow in the shape of a finger,
Finger gun.
the finger
Yeah.
gun. Those are good times. Just seeing that as a rumored Overwatch League logo, and I shared that with some designer friends of mine, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know, are they like an anime?" And they pretty much went
Turns
with
out that
that.
is exactly what it is.
Yeah, they did. They actually did it.
They had really good marketing, that team.
They honestly did. I think of all the marketing teams, there was Shanghai 0-40, and then they come back and become championships, which is a good, legit story to follow. And then you have Hangzhou Spark, where they have all these advertisements around different animes from Japan that they can, are licensed to actually sell in China. So it actually works out pretty well for them. Whereas, I don't know, the branding of some of the other Chinese teams would be like, Guangzhou, they are pretty multicultural, and then Chengdu, they're pretty monocultural, and they do stuff in the tech industry in both of those locations, but, the identity is either lost, not really spoken out about, or hasn't made them any money yet, or don't want to make any money off of, their own
Or
country.
some have even just not been in the league this year.
Some haven't even hosted a homestand because it's not because they couldn't. It's just they've not been given the chance to. 2 or 3 times, and then they get cancelled due to pretty big hits of COVID in China. And on top of that, when they were scheduled in 2020, they were one of the first homestands, and then just completely axed in March 2020. That's gonna suck. But that's the money that they had to generate off, and those would still be losing money just to be able to host those kind of games for the professional Overwatch teams. Hopefully, with the Overwatch World Cup and what they are designing now, the top 16 get to go to BlizzCon, essentially, to face off against each other. Do you guys like the idea of getting plane tickets to the US?
Hell yeah.
Yeah? All you gotta do is just play well?
I
Can't be
was
that hard.
kind of disappointed in the Anaheim announcement. I did not want to go back to the US, but
Fair enough.
Well,
Like,
we're
it should
actually-
be, at this point, it could be hosted anywhere else, right? It could be out of LA, or it could
It
even
was,
be in a home country
This
elsewhere.
kind of something that would have to be in America for very obvious reasons.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that you can't take away from them. That's their choice. But they could do something
Yeah.
international.
I mean,
Host it
wherever
somewhere.
it's gonna be, just
Like
being
host
part
a
of it is
mid-season
gonna be-
tournament in Korea.
Tournaments are so
Oh,
much
yeah.
fun, honestly, and I'm usually too busy at events to enjoy anything else. So if it's easier to access personally, I just like it. Like when I was in Montreal for DreamHack or LAN ETS, I was in the event center for 18 hours of the day, like besides sleeping. And so actually in DreamHack I slept there too. But that's another story.
That's crazy.
We got time for that.
It's so much fun. The energy in an event, an in-person event, is just, you can't even grasp it until you're there, and it's so much fun that I really want to see the team go there and experience that. Everyone should. If you're into esports, it's just unlike anything else.
Can't wait to go to DreamHack Dallas then.
Oh, you going?
Yeah, I got my ticket already.
It's so
That's
close
fun.
by.
Unfortunately, missed out on the land tickets because I took too long. But
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would have been fun.
yeah, but I also don't want to spend an entire event on my computer, because I know if I do bring in that, like if I did do the land ticket, I would have just stayed at my computer the whole time.
Well, you could have been like Sans and you bring a laptop and then have your first experience having a second monitor. Gaming on the laptop experience. That's how I got into Overwatch as well. So it's just picturing that and Sam's being like, wow, you can actually have another monitor to do
You can
other
look at
things.
Discord and Overwatch at the same time.
Innovation right there. Also, because he's from the UK, I mean that would be an expensive flight, no doubt.
His equivalent is like Insomnia or something.
Insomnia still hosts TF2, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Really?
Yep.
They're still
Yeah.
holding up
Why?
after what, like 10 years, 15 years? now?
Why?
I think it's still Sixes they host, if I'm not mistaken, actually.
Wacky.
They're one of the last LAN events to still host them, and Timicon LAN, I think, still hosts Team Fortress 2. But yeah, a little bit
Wow.
of esports trivia there.
That's really good. That's really impressive.
Because I know, Baro, you said you played TF2.
Yeah,
Just
but just
exclusively
casually. I never
games.
really played competitively.
Oh, okay. You never played like Sixes or Highlander?
Oh, I mean,
Nope.
Highlander, was that very competitive?
No, not really, but like it was there.
It was definitely fun when I play Highlander.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's endless amounts of fun. And that's what I'm
Right.
hoping Overwatch 2 gets to be able to bask in when they release their vision of PvE. Yeah, that's one way to put it, but I'm sure there's still a lot of things we need to set our expectations on what they've decided to change it to.
I mean,
Yeah, it's still one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I feel like Dab's being a little silent, but as long as you're still here, that's all good. I was wondering, as far as the grand scheme of things, are you guys definitely looking forward to your first matches against some of the world's greatest? I think Team New Zealand and their Asia Pacific region just lost a team that would be competing in Team Singapore. So there'd be one less team. I don't know if we're going to have a sub like they did for Europe, where they had Iceland come in for another team. You guys will just be
Even
out of the
correct,
bat having the Overwatch World Cup experience right then and there. It would already feel like semifinals or finals level kind of competition, depending on who your first matchup is.
I'm pretty sure we're all excited because we've been trying really, really, really hard to prepare, and we've been making a lot of good strides. So we're trying to make a decent, well, not even a decent. We want to make a good run at least even make it to LAN.
Yeah, I certainly think you could eke out that spot that's underneath Canada and US if they are going to be as big as they have been historically.
Mhm.
What about your rest of your teammates? So we haven't really talked about them, but if you want to tell us a bit more about who else is on the team that's not here, I'd love to know a bit more about them.
We have two other supports. One of them is called Carmack. He was the last addition to our roster. And then we have another one called Webtube. He is one of our bright talents because he's had some really high level experience with well recognized teams, and so yeah, one of our bright spots there.
I play for Contenders China.
Well, there it was. I think it was Billy Gaming he used to scrim with.
Oh shit! So you guys definitely
Yes.
have some of that international experience to tinker on. If it's not South Korea, because they're just way too far. Team
Yeah.
China is pretty impressive.
Then who else? There is Spooky, who is one of our tanks. Well, our tank. And then who else? Joelo. Yeah. We pronounce it Joelo. It's spelled like, I mean, if you want to say it in English way, it's Jodello.
Yeah,
I guess.
Jodello.
You want to
That's
say
immediately what I want to say.
Yellow.
Yeah, Hodello.
I'm sure the real way pronounce it is a little bit.
Yeah, it's
bit
a
better.
Hodello.
Yeah, and that's our other DPS. He tends to play the flex DPSs. Pretty
The Flex
solid
Genji.
mechanically. Yeah, he really likes his Genji, so we try to
Mm.
see how we
Yes,
can.
players are just Genji players in disguise.
See, throughout this entire podcast, my mind still can't take away that Benji rhymes with Genji, and it's gonna throw probably the other teams off if they don't expect a Genji main on support. You know, that's just how it is. You have like a Mercy in queue, and they're just playing DPS or something like that. Yeah, that will throw them off, even if it's just for 1 second.
Yeah, it does so many times.
Yeah, no, it's gotten me throughout this whole pod, so I'm sure it might actually throw them off in the game. The Jodello going hard on the Genji. I'm sure there will be a nano boost somewhere down the line. Who'd be the one to throw the nano boost?
1 nano blade. That's all I ask. Just 1. Doesn't even have to be good. It doesn't even have to do anything.
Pull out the blade. If we see it, then we'll be very excited to see it ourselves in real time.
Broken blade jacks for all I care. I just want an attempt.
He's everything except an AK blade. I can assure that. It's another one.
I honestly can't wait. And look, I think we are getting close to wrapping up. Was there any other topics you want to bring up? Anything that's sort of out in the open or hasn't been mentioned? Just about the game, your experience in World Cup this year?
Anyone?
Yeah, just opening the floor.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Overwatch League.
Anything?
Any other topic?
Yeah, anything you want to bring up from your time so far with the game, World Cup, esports. We might call it a day.
Button, say something.
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, take it.
What's your guys' favorite Overwatch League team?
Which of you who've been watching or following Overwatch League? What you got?
All-timer this year.
Just in general, you know, just whatever era.
Say Dallasville.
I mean, when Vancouver Titans was popping off on goats, that was my favorite.
Now look at them.
Back when they had Runaway picked up.
Yeah, that roster, the roster of all time with Bumper and Hunter.
With Bumper, yeah, that was
Giga Chad.
Yeah.
At that particular year, that's when I fully committed to supporting Guangzhou. But I had a soft spot for Chengdu, who would go all out on Vancouver Titans, aiming a ball main, going Reinhardt. I was about to say Reinforce. Yeah, Reinhardt, absolutely balling on a whole different hero. Completely left field. That's the stuff that I like watching with the Overwatch League. And even in this 5v5 environment, look, some of these teams are actually super competitive. But if I'm looking at how Toronto Defiance playing, I think you guys have got a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell them I said that. I think Hydra won't be coming back anytime soon. Who knows? Maybe I might be able to say hi to Speedily. Yeah.
Hydra's a beast. When I play against him on rank, it's like, I don't know, it's like playing Five Nights at Freddy's. You can pick.
I guess that's one way to just wrap up the team by team comparisons. I think United States, you guys have got a pretty good read on or familiar with some of these players. What are your thoughts on Super on the United States roster? He hasn't played in Overwatch League in the last year, so
America's
he's still
been
grinding it out. #1 US main tank, destroying a whole bunch of other games on his content creation on small internet website.
Best players in the game, regardless of what he's done.
He's still fantastic and still plays at an Overwatch League level, even though he isn't playing in the league. And it showed in his tryouts. Like, if you watch the stream for his tryout, like, he still plays far beyond anyone else in that region.
Yeah, facing off against some of the current Overwatch players like Mirror. I can't think of any of the other tanks that would have taken his spot. But yeah, very competitive as a single tank or even a backup one. Deluge might do fine. Sugar Free, Lenny season. Have you guys heard of that reference?
You gonna die.
You gonna die. Very charismatic memes made about this guy since he's been playing since 15. I'm sure you guys have equally as long history, but his one has never been more prominent for someone of his age. How about anyone from this team, Puerto Rico? Have you guys familiar with any of those names? Or kept an eye on them? Or Mexico?
I mean, if you saw some... Papa Joe... if you see him like...
Papa Joe.
Just
Papa Joe, yeah, but like if you see him like in a more professional environment, besides Red Shield videos, like you see him in tournaments and shit, he's like a really good player, and I always admire Papa Joe and point of view. So playing against him is honestly something that I'm looking forward.
Okay, another quick fire. So, no mention of Mexico. What about Guatemala? Are these closer to you guys in terms of like matchmaking and ladder? You guys see any of these players or heard of them before?
I never seen any of Guatemala players in rank. I see some of Mexico. Obviously, Canada and US the players are like around.
Yeah, that's the one
But
we
from
tend to-
Guatemala, I never seen one of those players. One of them, like two of them, but there was like a league on Costa Rica. I joined like in the very last year, like in the last season. And one of those players from Guatemala was in the league. I think it's Marleo. So we know that, like, we know him.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
he
then,
was part of the community league.
yeah, so then the last two, then I guess I wouldn't need to talk about yourselves, but I was going to wonder if you wanted to rate yourselves, how you're feeling confident coming into this season. I think we've heard it a couple of times already, but yeah, no, this winter character or spooky Spanish, these sound pretty competitive. I haven't heard anything about WetTube. Where's WetTube in this? Do you think it's still up in the air how you want to work with your free support players, or is there something cooking at the works? Not really something to share yet.
Mr. Coach.
Batnish can answer that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I guess this is for my position. I mean, like anywhere else, you're gonna have like your starting lineup, and then you're gonna have subs, usually as defined as so. And so you want to focus your efforts until your starting lineup if you can, and then prep your subs in the event of something happening, right, to one of your starters. So that's how we've been structuring the team so far.
Okay, no, that's pretty much as best of an answer I can get for that. What about Team Canada? How familiar are you guys with all their players? Seeker, Noxious, Astronix, that one's new to me. False, Magic M8 Ball from Trick Room fame against San Francisco Shock, Crimzo, and Cal from Timeless.
I just know Crimzo and False. I don't know any of the other guys.
Noxious is very sick hitscom player. Same as Hydron, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you playing some Five Nights at Freddy's when he's on the enemy team.
Yeah.
Apart from that, they have a pretty sick support lineup. Especially Crimso is like, I don't know, is a pretty good player. And as someone who grew up watching some of the Overwatch scene Tier 2 and Overwatch League, it's very crazy for me that some of these players that I admired a lot while growing up, we're gonna face off against some of them. About the tank line, yeah, I have no clue about the tanks, but from DPS and support perspective, Canada is pretty strong, and honestly, I want to see how they perform against US.
Yeah, I bet that's going to be a big showdown between the two. And we've seen United States before fumble the bag when it was against that GOATS kind of era in 2019. So you never know what that might be in store for you. You know, maybe there is a running potential here to come second or first, to bump above Canada and US as the big favorites. It's a stretch, but I think I can see, things happening. They're going to be quite chaotic.
Doable.
Yeah, so as long as you guys got your heads in, and I don't see why not. You guarantee a placement.
Don't troll.
Don't troll. Make sure that you use your beat and make sure it lands. Don't die mid-beat.
Don't use beat for overclock.
No Ajax. Yeah, I'm sure
I
there's
promise.
Go on.
I promise there will be no Ajax. If not, I retire. No Ajax, no Ajax.
No Ajax. Okay, well, I'm sure I'll look forward to having maybe a follow-up or a winning interview if you get into the conference and you make it out into the live matches. That would be really sick. I'd be very proud to have interviewed you guys today. It'd be very, very cool. But nonetheless, it's been fun to know a little bit more about your country and get to know everybody here, both community and coach, not just the players. That's really, really awesome. I want to thank you guys for that.
Totally.
No problem.
Any last words or final highs on how they can reach you?
Yeah, well, we have our socials. You can follow us as Team Costa Rica OW on pretty much all the social media networks. And we have a Discord server. It's in our in our bio in all our socials. So if you want to join to know more about the team, the news about the Overwatch World Cup, or our events with the community, just let us know.
Hey, that's awesome. Hey, look, well, that's us for today. Nari, nice of you two showed up last minute. Everybody give it up for Nari. Coming in clutch at the
Poggers!
Poggers! Let's go!
Yeah,
Yeah, sheesh! And make sure to follow us. Thank you all for joining.